All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. We are closing in on a brand new year, which means it's time to, start thinking about getting a jump start on planning for 2025.
Absolutely.
So that is what we're going to be doing today. We're looking at this newsletter that I got from Buckalew Financial Services.
Okay.
And, I think a lot of people know them. They help people navigate Medicare and retirement and all that. But this newsletter really caught my eye because it's not just about your, money, right? It's sort of got this really interesting holistic approach that I thought was worth a deep dive.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's about finances, but it's also about your health and even about like personal goals and how all those things kind of, work together.
Right.
So I thought it'd be cool to kind of go through it and see what kind of insights we could glean from it for all of us as we, get ready for 2025.
Yeah, that sounds great. And you're right. It is interesting to see a financial services company like Buckalew taking that broader approach.
Yeah.
Because, at the end of the day, your finances are just one piece of the puzzle when we're talking about overall well-being.
Right, totally. So, like, one of the first things that they bring up is Medicare.
Okay.
And, I think it's easy to kind of just like set it and forget it, right? Like you enroll in a plan and you think, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
But they really emphasize the importance of like actually reviewing your Medicare benefits for 2025.
Which is so important because those plans can change.
Yeah, they do. And they point out like things like what doctors are covered, what prescriptions are covered, your like out-of-pocket maximums, all of that can change from year to year, right?
Right. And you really don't want to be caught off guard, especially when it comes to something like healthcare.
Yeah.
It's not something you want to have any surprises with.
No. And I mean, I've been there, like where you go to the doctor and then suddenly you get a bill that you weren't expecting.
Ugh. Yeah.
It's not fun.
The worst. So this annual review is like preventive medicine, but for your wallet, right?
Right, exactly.
It's making sure that you're still getting the best coverage for your needs and avoiding any of those unexpected costs or gaps in coverage.
Totally.
Yeah.
And they actually even suggest, if you're feeling totally overwhelmed, give them a call at Buckalew and they can kind of walk you through it,
Yeah.
which is cool. I mean, it's great to have that kind of support, but you can also always check out the official Medicare website.
Oh, for sure.
They have tons of resources for comparing plans and just figuring out what's best for you.
Absolutely. And knowledge is power in this situation.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about Medicare, but now let's get to maybe the less exciting topic, our finances.
Okay.
But I think, I used to think that getting my finances in order was just about like, making sure I could pay my bills and maybe save a little bit.
Right.
But now I realize it's actually so much more than that.
It is.
It's about reducing stress. It's about like achieving your goals, like whatever those goals may be, and having your finances in order can actually help you get there.
Right. It's about feeling in control of your life.
Yes, exactly. And this newsletter, it actually lays out some really practical steps.
Oh, good.
It's not just like go figure it out.
Right.
It's like actually, here's some things you can do. And the first one is creating a budget,
Okay.
which I know a lot of people like kind of like groan when they hear that.
Ugh. Budget.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be this scary restrictive thing.
It doesn't.
It's more like creating a roadmap for your money.
Right.
So you know where it's going, you know how much you have, and you can make it work for you instead of feeling like it's controlling you.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people are afraid of budgeting because they think it means depriving themselves.
Right.
But it's really not about that at all.
No, it's about awareness.
It's about being intentional with your money.
Yes, exactly. And another thing they bring up is assessing your retirement savings.
Okay. Yeah.
So, are you on track to meet your goals? Do you know what your goals are?
Right.
That's something to think about.
Yeah. And this is a great time to do that assessment, as we're heading into a new year.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And you know what else they say? And this is something I was really bad at for a long time.
What's that?
Keeping track of your healthcare receipts.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of people don't realize that those can actually be really valuable come tax time.
They can.
There might be deductions that you're eligible for. And I mean, I've definitely gotten money back because of, medical expenses that I was able to deduct.
Yeah, it's always a good idea to stay organized.
Right, exactly.
And keep track of those things.
Yes. Okay, so we've talked about Medicare, we've talked about finances.
Right.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting because they bring up health.
Okay.
And not just in the sense of like, make sure you have health insurance, which of course is important.
Right.
But they actually talk about taking care of your health.
Yeah, for your overall well-being.
Exactly, like
Yeah.
feeling good, having energy, living your best life. And they have this really smart suggestion, scheduling your annual wellness visit.
Okay.
So, a lot of people don't realize that Medicare actually covers an annual checkup with your doctor.
Right.
And it's a great opportunity to catch potential health issues early on, talk about any kind of preventative measures that you can take, just get personalized advice.
Right. It's like an investment in your future health.
Yes, exactly.
Hmm.
And then this is kind of fun. They mentioned something called silver sneakers.
Silver sneakers.
And I know it sounds like it's like, some fancy footwear,
Right. I was thinking shoes, too.
but it's actually a fitness program that's often included in Medicare Advantage plans.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you can actually get access to gyms and fitness classes and all sorts of things.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's worth checking out if you're, looking for ways to stay active.
Definitely.
And they actually make a good point. They say that you don't have to like go crazy. You don't have to be like a marathon runner.
No, not at all.
Even just going for a daily walk can make a huge difference in your health and your energy levels.
Absolutely. Consistency is key.
Yes. And, speaking of like healthy habits, they actually even include a recipe in the newsletter.
Oh, for what?
Overnight oats.
Nice.
Yeah, so you just like mix half a cup of oats, half a cup of milk, a tablespoon of honey, a quarter cup of berries, throw it in the fridge overnight,
Easy.
and then you have breakfast ready to go in the morning.
I love that it's like the perfect, quick, and healthy breakfast.
Right. And I think that's a cool thing that they included that because it just kind of shows that like healthy eating doesn't have to be complicated.
Right. It can be simple and delicious.
Exactly. Okay, so we've talked about Medicare, we've talked about finances, we've talked about health. What's next?
I'm intrigued.
Well, this wouldn't be a proper New Year's prep session without talking about goals, right?
Of course not. Gotta have goals.
So, what do you want to achieve in 2025? And I'm not just talking about like financial goals. I mean, this can be anything.
Right. Think
Right.
big.
Yeah, like, do you want to learn a new skill? Do you want to travel somewhere you've always dreamed of going? Do you just want to spend more time doing things that you love?
Right. Or all of the above.
Yeah, exactly. And the newsletter makes a really good point. They say the key to achieving any goal is breaking it down into smaller steps.
Okay.
So instead of feeling overwhelmed by this huge, like, audacious goal, you just focus on what you can do today
Right.
to move yourself closer to where you want to be.
And those small steps add up over time.
Yes. And I think that's something that we can all, like, apply to so many areas of our lives,
Totally.
not just our New Year's resolutions.
Right. It's a mindset.
Yeah. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the Buckalew newsletter,
Yeah.
what have we learned?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway for me is that preparing for a new year isn't just about the numbers.
Right.
It's not just about our bank accounts or our Medicare plans.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that our well-being is multifaceted
Yes,
and that our finances, our health, our personal goals, they're all interconnected.
totally. And I think the cool thing is that you don't have to make these like huge sweeping changes.
Right.
You can start small.
Absolutely.
You can focus on those consistent actions that you could take every day, and those will eventually lead to those bigger changes.
Yeah, it's about building momentum.
Yes. So as we head into 2025, let's remember to take that holistic approach.
Yes.
Think about our finances, our health, our personal goals, and just like take care of ourselves.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. And to a happy, healthy, and fulfilling new year.
To a great 2025.
Yes. And that is it for today's deep dive. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive into, well, who knows what. Until then, take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.